Yo, what's up? What's up? It's the Hungry Millennial back again with yet another Proactive Pragmatism. On today's Proactive Pragmatism, we carry on with our series Millennials Are. This next millennial that I'm about to bring to the podcast is humble, hungry, and highly motivated. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Williams. Yo, Chris, what's up? What's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's going on, my man? I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on, brother. How you been doing?
Yeah, I've been doing well. I can't complain. I appreciate you for having me, man. It's an honor.
All right. So, before we get in and dig a little bit deeper into Chris Williams, based off of the knowledge that I have, can you tell the podcast, give them a little rundown of who you are and where you come from?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, originally I'm from Cairo, Illinois. I'm from really from the bottom of the map, the bottom of Illinois, the last city there is in the state of Illinois. Growing up, I was moving back and forth from down there and up to Carbondale, all over, man. So I'm really just, I'm me, man. A lot of people, whenever you see me, you gonna know it's me. I'm laid back, chill, cool. I'm one of the coolest cats you'll know. That's how I feel. So, that's just me, man.
Okay. Okay. Grew up a Cairo pilot. I see
Hero
you.
pilot for sure, for
So
sure.
you a huge checking out your social media, you're a huge Kobe fan.
Oh
So
yeah,
when I
for
say
sure.
something like Mamba mentality, what does that mean to you?
Mama mentality, that mean like you really gotta give whatever you going for, you gotta give it to everything. Like just like Kobe, like when I used to just watch his videos and watch what he was doing, watching him hoop, he just really gave everything. He'll go out there with broken fingers, he'll go out there with injuries, he'll just give it all. So I feel like if he can have that type of mentality for basketball in life, I feel like I can apply that same mentality for my life.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So why Kobe over Jordan? Because they say Jordan, he went out there and he played with the flu. See, there's a debate on that. Some
Yes,
people
sir.
say it was food poisoning. He says the flu. Like there's really a controversy behind that. Why Kobe?
Me Kobe because I grew up watching Mike. I really grew up. I grew up watching Kobe. Kobe was my man. Because I probably started watching basketball probably in like 2000. I was probably like 6 years old, and the first person I seen because we didn't have cable like that. You know what I'm saying? So the first person I seen on ABC in the finals was Kobe Bryant. I'm like, okay, okay. And I seen him doing his thing, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna be a Lakers fan. This dude right here, he good. And I think in 2000 that's when they won. That's when they won one of them championships. I think they repeated it around that time, like 99 or like 2000, 2001, if I ain't mistaken. But yeah, man, just seeing them on TV when I was a little kid, man, it just gave me all the motivation. Because at one point, I thought I was gonna go to the league. Every broke kid got hoop dreams.
Yeah, facts. No, I agree. And that was the thing is like I remember like there was nobody more, pivotal in like playing ball on the court, you know what I'm saying? Really
Yes,
than
sir.
Kobe. Like cuz we wasn't really saying Jordan, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
sir.
especially coming from where we coming from, you know what I'm saying? We trying to show out. We got the Justin Dittmans out there, you know what I'm saying? And different players like that. And it I'm starting to see a trend when it comes to like education and people pursuing degrees a little bit later. And it seems like you kind of went that route yourself. Can you explain to us, what made you make that decision, later rather than, earlier?
Yeah, for sure. So at first, the crazy thing is, the first one after I graduated from Carbondale, I mean, the first thing I did was I went to college. I went to SIUC. Like the first couple months, man, I was having fun, man. It was a blast. But one thing about it, I got caught up, man. I got caught up in the wrong crowd, and like, and that's what really hindered me. Because before anything, before everything, before I started everything, going to college was like just something that I thought that I was supposed to do after I graduated. So after I graduated, I went to SIUC. I did good, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I did good for probably about 2 months. But after that, man, I just slipped into the spell. I slipped into that spell, man. I slipped into that spell. I put parties over education, and man, it went downhill from there, man. I I ain't gonna lie. I finished one semester. Man, I got out. I said, yeah, I don't think this is me. I gotta figure something else out.
Well, you know, and that's interesting because there's such a pressure. Like, so who put that idea of like, hey, go to college, go to SIUC, you know, do that? Who put that in you? Because I'm starting to see like there's a trend of like they tell us go get an education, and we like, I, you know.
So I would have to say it wasn't even my family. Honestly, I feel like it was more of the outside pressure. I feel like that's what you're supposed to do after you graduate high school. I feel like they tell you to after you graduate to go to college and go get good grades, get a good job. And I feel like I'm like, all right, 'cause I always being smart, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm like, all right, I can go knock this out. But sometimes that ain't the case. And that wasn't my case.
I understand. So was SIUC like the top choice? Is that where you originally wanted to go to? Or was you just like, it's local, I'm gonna just stay at the crib?
Honestly, I scored real high on my ACT. I scored about a 23 if I'm mistaken. So I really, when I was applying to schools, I was getting into the schools, with no problem. Anyone, like, I won't say anyone, but like majority of the schools I was applying to, I was getting into. So I didn't really have a set in stone school, but I just started thinking like, man, where all my friends gonna be at, once I get out of class, or I'm going this far, who my friends gonna be, who I'm gonna hang out with. I'm 18 years old. I ain't trying to leave the crib too early. I'm still trying to figure things out. So I just thought like, staying in Carbondale would probably be a good move for me.
That's real. So you did you end up finishing out the semester, or like how did you transition? Because I know you spent some time in the military. So how did that work out? Can you kind of explain to us like what that
Yeah,
transition was like?
yeah, most definitely. So what happened was, like I said, like the first 2 months of school, man, I was doing great. Like, man, I was going to all my classes and everything. But then I started getting to the peer pressure because what I started doing was I started making friends. 'Cause like I said, I'm an easy going dude. You know what I'm saying? So I started making friends, and I started making a lot of them. And when I started making a lot of them, everybody started hitting you up. You want to go out this day, but you got homework, but you putting that to the side now. So now you want to go ahead and indulge in all the college, what college students do. If you catching my drift. So
Facts.
yeah, so man, I thought it was sweet, man. I thought it was real sweet. I thought I was just gonna be able to do whatever I wanted to do, but that's not the case. That's not the case. So what happened was, I probably say it was around November, man. Like I said, I was hanging out with my guys, and so I'm still my guys to this day. But what happened was, man, I had got into a fight, man. I got into a brawl. Yeah, man, and it made
And
world start everything.
I ain't never seen you back down from no confrontation.
Man, and that's the bad thing about me, man. That's the bad thing about me, man. I'm telling you, I'm always on go. That's the bad thing about me. But
Like back
back
in
in
the
the
day, I used to
day,
see you pull the shorts up like, let's do this
hey
then.
man,
What's
what
up?
time it was? Hey, yes, sir. Hey, but that's how it transitioned to college too, because like a lot of the kids they came from Chicago. I'm from down south. Like I say, a lot of my folks come out of Memphis and Carroll, so that's down south area. So we really from the
Uh-huh.
gutter. We really from the gutter. So and I always been that type of dude. Like you're not gonna disrespect me because I ain't gonna disrespect you unless I feel that type of disrespect. So
Facts.
push come to shove, that's what it came to. It was a lot of disrespect in there. So, we just ended up brawling, like six of my guys, six of their guys, and we were just out there fighting. Police came, tased everybody. I'm like, man, took us all to jail. Yeah, man, it was serious. Took us all to jail, man. Had $150 bond. I'm like, dang. I was in jail 3 days for that, man. I promise, man. The
3 days,
school,
bro.
3 days,
What
man.
was the
School
meals like?
prosecutor.
What?
Oh man, trash, man, trash. That's why I said, man. Hey, I did them 3 days. Like I've been to jail. I've been to jail before that. They ain't nothing to brag
Okay.
about. But I've been to jail before that. From driving license was suspended. But I've been to jail before that. And I knew once I went that time, I said I can't be in here this time. So
Mhm.
after that, I called my dad. My dad came and got me that money because we went to jail on a Friday. So once you go to jail and down there, Murfreesboro, you ain't seeing no judge till Monday. So yeah, your weekend gone. So I was in there for the whole weekend, man. So I had 72 hours to reflect on what I had to do. And right in that moment, I said, man, as soon as I got here, man, I'm finna go sign up to the army. Then that's how that transitioned from right there, because I said I know I can't be a lame, because I'm more than this. I'm more than what I'm beating myself down to be. I'm way more than that. So that's why I made that quick decision to go ahead and join the military.
Okay, that's big facts, man. And the military is pivotal. And the thing is like that'll also change over time. Cause I remember 11 years ago when I joined, right out of high school, I had this plan. I was still a knucklehead. Like private me, what I'm saying, specialist me was still a knucklehead. And still to this late day, I'm still learning. So what was the culture shock that you experienced when you went to basic training compared to like regular life?
All right. Okay. So regular life, regular life, you don't gotta be around certain people. You can move around when you want to. You can go do anything on your own whenever you want to in regular life. But the thing about army life is, man, whenever you get there, it's not your world no more. You know what I'm saying? It's their world. So once I got in there, it was just so different because, like, man, because I did my basic training in Fort Leonard out here in Missouri.
Oh
So
yeah,
Fort Lost, yeah,
FLW.
Fort Lost in the woods. So it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first day, it was cold too. I remember it was February 17th. I won't forget it. February
Oof.
17th, 2013. Cold, freezing. And we on the bus pulling up to the barracks and everything. I'm like, oh man, it's finna
They
get
put
real.
you in a cattle truck or you get a bus?
Oh no, we got a bus. We got a bus. We
Oh,
had a good
okay.
bus. Hey, but as soon as we pulled up, man, they got up on there and got on our bus, man. They got everybody get down. Everybody get down. Get off the bus. I'm talking about, and it's freezing cold, bro. They tell us to get off the bus, man, and everybody get out and do push-ups. Oh man, they was tearing me up.
Man, like, and that's funny because like my experience, we had like they put us in a cattle truck, dog. So they put
Oh
us in this
man.
cattle truck. We driving around Fort Leonard Wood. He like, oh yeah, it's gonna be the greatest time of y'all lives. Welcome to Fort Leonard Wood. Welcome to Disneyland. Y'all about to get 3 meals a day. Y'all finna eat it up. All of a sudden, the cattle truck skirt part. We like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? He's like, welcome, gentlemen. Now get your fucking head in the bag. He pushed somebody's head in the
I
bag, mushed
swear.
him, mushed him. And then it was like, wait, hold on,
Hold,
bro.
hold
Like, wait.
on,
Uh,
yeah.
He pushed all of us off. So we all fell on top of each other because the cattle truck, like the doors slide. So
Yeah.
it opens wide up. And then like we just all tumble out. They telling us sprint, run, run, run. We run into we got into a chapel, man. They put us. Did you like when y'all first got off? Did they put y'all like where did y'all go?
No, when we first got off, man, we was at the oh my god.
Did y'all go to
We was at
reception?
reception. We was at reception.
Okay,
Yeah, we was at reception. Reception. Yeah.
okay, yeah. Our reception was like mad ghetto because they had like the trainees that was like holdovers running reception.
Yeah, most definitely. Us too. Us too.
And if you was a holdover, like a lot of the holdovers was savages. Like they
Most
really
definitely.
didn't like they was getting sent home, bruh. Like when we first got there, they had cats that had beat kids with like padlocks. Like
Oh man.
because on the third floor, so on a lot of third floor barracks, this is an unknown secret, but people be brawling up there. Like you got all that testosterone built up,
Most
and people
definitely.
think they bad when they join the army. You know what I'm saying?
Without a
So
doubt.
people had to go up there and throw hands. I ain't saying, you know what I'm saying, what happened, but what happened on the third floor, stay on the third floor. And
Yes, sir.
so
You know what?
what job did you end up picking in the army? Like where did you do your AIT and stuff?
I was a 92 Fox. They was the patrol supply
Oh,
specialist.
you was a 92 Fox too?
Yes, sir.
Nobody rocks like a 92 Fox.
Hey, you know what?
You know what I'm saying? I was
Yes,
at
sir.
V Shape. Was you what
I
company
was
was
at
you
V
with?
shape, bro. I was
You was
at V
V
shape.
Shape?
I was at V
Did,
shape.
did
So
they did they have the go ahead.
they had sent me to Fort Lee, Virginia, and I was in V
Okay.
shape. Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
Quartermaster,
Did
I was out there.
did they still have a little old hotel looking building? Or was
Oh
it a
no, they had
different
them
type?
brand new.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
kind of a hater right now, bro. I'm mad.
yeah. You got the old joint.
Man, ours was trash. But the thing is ours was so old school, like the setup was so like get it like angle, you know what I'm saying? You go down there, holler at, you know what I'm saying, holler at people, you know what I'm saying, whatever. People was
Yeah,
going airborne, ski out the window, Like this, I don't know if they had different windows for y'all, but people was like escaping at night, going off posts, all types of stuff. Like
Ooh.
back then,
Yeah,
V
man,
Shape was
we didn't get
savage.
that crazy. Yeah,
Did
we
y'all
didn't
have a
get that
club?
crazy.
Did they still have a
Uh,
club out there?
no. What happened was you had to get a blue pass to get the base to go there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. They had changed it all. We couldn't go to no club. It wasn't no clubs or nothing on there. Like, wait for us. For
Okay.
us.
Yeah, like I went through, man, what year was that? There was the winter of 2011. And so back then, it was totally different, I guess, because we had a club on post. So the same dude that we saw at reception that was giving us classes about like, don't do this, don't do that. He was in the club, bruh.
Wow.
He was in the club. Like he was, hey, back that up, like back then, Lil John and the East Side Boy, all that was
Yes, sir.
cracking. You know what I'm saying? And so
Heavy.
it was wild. Like it was wild. Like it and then our first week, we got a pass.
Yeah.
Our first week off
Oh yeah, man.
post.
Oh yeah,
We
we
was
didn't get a
we
we didn't get
ruined
a
it for
pass.
y'all. We ruined it for y'all. We
I
had to.
believe so. I
Cause
believe so, bro. I promise.
did y'all have a
I
roller
promise.
rink?
No. No. I lied. We did have a roller rink. We had a roller rink and a bowling alley. And a bowling alley.
Okay. Cause man,
And a bowling
I'm
alley.
like, man, they really stripped y'all clean of everything. Like it was, man, we was cutting up out there. Man, like there's this picture on Facebook. I had like a chain and everything. Like I was a totally different me. Cause in high school, like, you know what I'm saying? We had it basically what our parents gave us is what we had.
That's what we had.
You feel
Right.
me? And so you get a little money in your pocket, you start cutting up.
Start cutting up, man. It changed you. I ain't gonna lie. It changed you, man. It
Okay.
really do.
So tell me about your transition from the military back into school. So how did that like what made you make that decision and how did you get there to like, hey, I'm gonna take this serious? Was there a pivotal point in your life where you was like, I'm gonna do this again, or how did that work?
Yeah, most definitely. So like I said, when I was in I ain't taking the whole story because I had got out, man.
Okay.
I got out like 2000, end of 2015, going into 2016. Because man, I started missing my drill because I became a weekend warrior. Uh, so I started missing my drills, man, because I was, like I said, I got back to civilian life, man, and it was just like it was different. Like you said earlier, man, when you start getting money, man, it just man, it just changes. So you like, man, I already went in there. They steady already giving me checks. I'm already been here 2.5 years. I'm just, I done seen these checks and all this stuff. So I'm just like, man, is this even worth it anymore? So I just stopped. I slowly stopped going to my weekend drills, man. And I'm telling you, I got to that ninth one. Man, my commander called me in there. He said, man, I don't think you this what you really want to do in life. And man,
Mm.
he said, if this ain't what you want to do, I'll go ahead and we can start the paperwork and we can check you out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Hmm.
like, man, I think that's proud for
Hold on. We lost. What was that, bro?
on my fault. Somebody was calling me. My bad.
Oh, you good, bro? Do your thing.
Yeah. But what I was saying, man, yeah, it was different, man. It was really hard for me, bro, because I'm like, because I knew that the army wasn't something I wanted to do my whole life.
Hmm.
But I knew that the moment I got out, I had to figure something else out. So like I was just really caught in between the two. So man, after I got out, it took me 2 years to even go to school. I didn't go back to school till 2018. So like them 2 years, man, I'm just in my head, bro. And it was like one of the worst times of my life between like 2016 to like 2018 because like I was like 22 and I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do with my life now. You know what I'm saying? Who I'm supposed to be? Because like I said, I'm the oldest sibling too. So like it was real hard, man. So it was just one day I was like, man, I was sitting at home. I'm like, man, I got to be somebody. I think the best, what I'm saying, the best way for me to be, the best person for me to be is to go to school to try something out because like I feel like I done did everything in the world but go and get a degree. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I'm like, man, let me just go ahead and try school out and see how far I can take it. And man, I'm telling you, that first year, like it wasn't hard, but man, I came in, bro. I finished school with a 3.8, like my freshman year. I promise, man. First year back, bro, since high school, almost.
My
Well, since
man.
Yeah, well, since 2012. I'm like, man, I ain't been to school in 6 years, and I came in right off the rip, on business. So I feel like once I did that, I said, man, I can do anything after that, man.
Bro,
Like seriously.
that's powerful because.
Yeah, man.
So my question is were you when you initially joined the Army, were you planning on being part time, or were you planning, or were you on active duty?
Well, at first I had what we was gonna do, we was gonna do a buddy system, because I ain't never really thought about even going into the military, none of that. But my man Caleb Freeman, he had
Shout out
talked
to
to
Caleb.
me. Shout out to my man Caleb, man, holding it down, man. He was like, hey, bro, shit, man, you trying to do this buddy system? He was like, man, we going there, man. We can go ahead and do it, man. If we can come out, man, we'll be good. We'll be together. I'm like, all right, cool. So what happened was we had got split up. He went to Met before me. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, he went to Met before me, got all his paperwork through, and I had a hold on mine, so I had to wait a little bit longer, 6 months later. So he had went on without me, but he had ended up getting medical discharge because he had some problems with his lungs. He had asthma and stuff like that. So they medical discharge.
Man.
Yeah, man. So what I said, so I was like, man, I got to go in here and do this. But everybody in my ear was telling me, like, hey, man, don't do that. You're going to go out there and die. So, I promise, man. I promise, man. So I'm like, all right.
Wait, hold on. But you said something pivotal there, because in the Black community, people really think like that's what it is, bro.
That's what it is.
And the thing is more of us die from suicide and car wrecks and all that other stuff than actually die from like actual in service, being in the military.
Yeah, facts, man. Facts.
And so,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. I cut you
no,
off.
go ahead. I was passing it back to you.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, man, when they tell me I'm gonna die, I might die. I'm 18, 17, 18. So that's in my head. I'm like, man, I might die. I'm like, let me go ahead and be a part-time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me go ahead and be part-time. But like, it's all mental, man. Like, that's the thing about the Army. It's all mental. It's meant to break you down to be build up to be a stronger and better person. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what it did to me, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I cried like a baby, man. I cried like a baby. Hey, my first 2 weeks,
bro,
cried like a baby, man.
I can't even act mad strong, bro. Like, I'm in there, bruh. They said, call your mom, call your dad.
Yeah.
You get. I'm like, hey, mom, dad, I love you. I love you. P.O.P. hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to act hard.
I promise, man. Like, don't lie. Because you got all these other people in the room around you, these new people, you want to be so tough. But in the inside, you so crushed. All you want to be
whole soul.
The family. Whole soul.
Because your whole life, bruh.
Yeah,
you've known everybody. You've been around people.
Yeah,
like, man. I got into some trouble in like grade school as well. And, I even, got sent to a children's home for a little bit, because I just, my mental space wasn't right.
Yeah.
And so even there, like, it wasn't like the military, like you think like people, they upsell these programs like this going to be like when you go to the Army and do all that stuff, but it really be different, bro.
Thanks. My bad. I had to throw my phone on the charger too.
No, you good, dog. You good.
Yeah, though. Okay.
So you did the basic training, boy. So yes, people thought you was gonna die, and then like what started to click in your head?
What started? It's probably about, I say, man, probably about the 3rd week, man. And then the people that's before me, the people about to graduate and stuff, I really clicked with one of them, man, named Henderson, man. He told me, he was like, hey, bro, it's just all in your head, man. It get easier. So once he told me that, I'm like, man, he right. And the thing is, it started to get easier, man. Like, once you just let everything go and just understand that, like, it's only for a short time that you in this. Because basically, you're really just getting paid to work out, really. Because that's really all they doing to you, man. They really just smoking you for 8 weeks. Really, like I say, and they want you to build camaraderie with all the people you're around. So I feel like if I can get through this, man, it's gonna be sweet once I get done. And, you know what I'm saying? And then like the longer I got in there, I'm like, man, I feel like this could be my career. You know what I'm saying? Because I started to like it. Like for real, I'm like, man, after you get through red phase and then you go to white phase and blue phase, blue phase, sweet.
Yeah, blue, hey.
Sweet.
Hey, here go the cell phone, call you. You know what I'm saying?
So that.
Hello?
Yeah, man, they steady
Oh, you good?
calling me, man. They blowing me
Nah,
up.
you good, bro.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, but man, made me lose my train of thought. Where we was at?
You was talking about blue phase. Once you get
Oh
that
yeah.
freedom in blue phase.
Oh yeah, bro. Like you said, man, you grab them cell phones. Oh man, it was sweet. Your feet up, you get your cell phone for about 4 hours of the day. So I'm like, man, it's real. It's real easy now. You know, so like the drill sergeants ain't on you as much. So I'm like, whole time I'm like, man, I can do this forever. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, man, and then like you say, man, we seen them chicks coming in. You like, oh man,
Baby lavish.
Yes, sir. And that's what I was doing, man. Like I feel like I was just doing everything I wanted to do in life when I was in there. You know what I'm saying? I was able to take care of my people real good. You know what I'm saying? Like it was cool, bro. Like seriously.
And I think that's interesting because so from here you transition to was you in the guard or the reserves?
I was reserved.
So you transferred to a reserve unit, and that same feeling you was telling me about how you felt disconnected. I sat down with my first sergeant, who is now a retired sergeant major. We're friends on social media actually now. And he was like, you ain't doing it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you highly motivated everything. Then you get to that unit and the mental is totally different. People ain't standing there parade rest. That discipline ain't there. You got, no offense, you got, wider troops now. The PT is different because you got to stay on it mentally. And I'm gonna be completely honest with the physical fitness boy. After I got to the reserve units, because when you're young, I could go knock out a PT test, but it took years. Like even after I became an officer, I had to level up and say, you know what, I'm going to take my physical fitness serious. And that, man, like once you get back to the regular population, like I can't even fault you for feeling disconnected. Because I had to talk a battle buddy off the ledge. Like he wanted to kill himself because he was going to part-time drill.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
And I'm young, so I'm like, hey, bro, this ain't even you. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris. When I first arrived at my reserve unit, like the first 3 months, I just went straight to the latrine and fell asleep. Because I was a PFC, like I was a nobody. Like and when you first get there, they try to haze you, and I'm like, bruh, I'm not getting paid enough
for you
to get
exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some wide body sergeant over here trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
crazy.
Yes, sir.
And those same people. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Nah, you said the crazy part is. Go ahead, speak on it.
Yeah, because like the crazy part is, bro, like you say, them wide sergeant, bro, they locked into their positions. So like you really can't move up unless they leave. So bro, I wasn't able to move up either. I was stuck in a specialist.
Well, and then there's a disconnect because there is still biases. Like we're still doing conscious bias training in the military. They're harping on it hard now. Like they've changed some of the grooming standards to acclimate to African Americans being in the military. Because our hair is coarse, coarse and curly. And so they've laxed the standards. Hey, you can have, certain styles and do this. Like the girls, they can do the nails, but nothing crazy, Yes, sir. Because the Air Force, they've been living like that for a minute. You know what I mean? Like if I was to go back, I'd be like, I'm looking at the Air Force a little bit differently because they like a lot of the same gripes and stuff. They don't really have those because they're supported more so by, civilian measures and things like that. You know what I'm saying? They've been rocking earrings. You know what I'm saying? They had some baddies. You know what I'm saying? When I was a young Joe, you know what I'm saying? They had the earrings. You go to Scott Air Force Base. And and so it was like, that was cool, but there was a cultural disconnect. And when they don't understand your culture, a lot of times they perceive you as a threat, even though you can be one of their most pivotal troops. Because guess what people like? They like hip hop. They like culture. A lot of them, they see it on TV. They want to be like it. Like I deliver to just different neighborhoods all the time with FedEx, and like the little white kids, like they greet me like I'm one of theirs because they see us on TV. But you have a cultural disconnect, and that's really hard on the soldier. Like I can't even, I used to be like, oh, y'all need to stay in and get right and do this, until I realized like they don't have anybody that looks like me in a lot of their ranks.
That's 100% true.
And that's why when I greet the troops, I mean, I treat them all fairly, you know what I'm saying? No matter skin tone, any of those things. But anytime I can talk to a young Joe and provide them some information or some advice, I'm like, hey, if you leave the military tomorrow, I want you to have the wisdom and the knowledge here to go be great wherever you go. This same discipline applies. And the harder part is like, a lot of people don't have like the part-time experience, like where we're dipping into the civilian world and the military at the same time. Yeah. So they go full time and they don't realize what they're missing out, you know, like, and so, and they think that when they get out here, it's going to be sweet. But you know what? That luxury of you had the money. Remember you was talking about the bread you was getting in basic? Life was looking lavish. You want to go active?
You know it.
The world ain't sweet out here. You know what I'm saying? Like there's, I mean, and the more I level up, I realize like a lot of troops, you know, when I was young, I was like, yeah, I ain't getting paid much. You ain't had no time in. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, sir.
I you know, you have the opportunity to level up, but a lot of people ain't gonna give you that free chicken. Like, I'm gonna be honest, if it wasn't for a few NCOs that reached out to me, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bryant Walker, you know what I'm saying? He about to retire. Like, Sergeant first class, and he was a platoon sergeant, you know. So when you get that African American platoon sergeant, he got that swagger, he got the waves going on. You know, a lot of who he is or who he was back then, I am today. You know what I'm saying? I wear my do-rag because I'm like, hey, Sergeant Walker would do it like this. You know what I mean? And I know, you know, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, you know, African American soldiers, we have those individuals within the ranks, you know what I'm saying? And we like, man, they got some swag. You know what I'm saying? And so it's beautiful. I know I just went on a little soapbox, but it's beautiful to see you applying that same discipline today, because you came out and talked about that 3.8. That's pivotal. That's a game changer. That's higher than you know what I'm saying? Like, I was a 3.1, 3.2 guy, but I went straight through. But it's like you got made in the storm and went for that 3.8. So when you first started with that 3.8, what was your goal? Like what path were you taking educationally? Like, what did you want to do at that time?
All right, so I always been in healthcare, because like I said, in 2016 and 18, before I really went to school, that was one of my, like, the most hardest times of my life, because I'm still trying to figure out, you know, who I am and what I want to be. And one of my best friends, Walter Coleman, he had put me on this hospital job, neural processing technician. He had put me on this hospital job, man. So I'm like, cool. You know, maybe I need to get in healthcare. So like I said, I took that job serious, man.
You talking about tall, light-skinned Walter?
Oh no. You talking about, different cat? Talking about. Yeah, it's a different cat from Chicago. Okay.
Cause you know what? It's funny. I knew people that worked at the hospital, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Chris Williams work out there." Da, 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 you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was peeping you, bro, even before, you know what I'm saying, the process. I was like, okay, that's what's up. Because a lot of people don't get those jobs.
They don't, bro. But the crazy thing is, like, it looks good on paper. Like, they're like, oh, that boy Chris, he's doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? But like, what I rather share is my struggle. You know what I'm saying? I rather share what it took for me to get there and show you how I'm living now. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man. Because like, everybody always see the good, but they don't see the bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't post a lot. I never post a lot because, like, I don't want somebody to think that I'm doing better than them or whatever the case may be. Because 10 times out of 10, that ain't the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a human like everybody else, but I just choose not to broadcast whatever I'm going through. Because one thing about me is I'm gonna get to whatever it is I'm going through because of my mentality. You know what I'm saying? And I know the power that it carries. You know what I'm saying? The power of the tongue. So, you know, like, I ain't just been out here all down bad, but one thing, you know what I'm saying? One thing for sure is I ain't gonna fake the funk. I'm gonna let you know when it's real and, you know, when it's real and when it ain't. You know. And it ain't always been peaches and cream, you know what I'm saying? I had to climb, man. I had to climb up out that crab bucket. Like, for
facts. Real. Well, and that's powerful because here's the thing: is so many people do things for clout on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, and a lot of people, so either when they perceive me, they're like, "Oh, this dude think he better than other people." Like, I'm not gonna mention the cat name, but we played, you know, ball together in high school. And he was like, "Oh, you think you better than me?" Because da 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 da. And like, I ain't never, like, Chris, I ain't never been the type of person to be like, I'm better than anybody. Like, if
100%.
anything, if I ever said anything to anybody, it's because I want them to improve. But a lot of times you don't have the communication skills, you know what I'm saying, years and years back, and things get perceived differently on social media. You know what I'm saying? You might just be trying to help somebody.
Most
And
definitely.
it's
But they take it
powerful
a
that
different way.
you said, go ahead.
Oh no, I just said, well, whenever you talk about the social media, they just look at it and take it a different way.
Well, and it's powerful that you said the pullback of like not saying what you're doing and doing what, you know what I'm saying, all those things.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where people will perceive you as like, oh, like once you hit a certain level, Chris, once you hit a certain level, people like they stop cheering you on. Drake talked about this in one of his songs, and he was just talking about how like once you like when you going through it, like everybody's cheering for you. But once you reach a certain level that may be perceived as higher than them, even though it ain't higher than them, you
Most
still
definitely.
you still ascending. You still rising up. You still trying to accomplish your goals. And the truth is until you reach a certain level, you really can't reach back and help people
That's a
because they don't
fact.
understand.
That's a
They
fact.
won't even see the arm that's coming and extending out to them saying, "Hey, brother, come with me."
That's a
But
fact.
and another thing is they don't realize it comes with work. Like I can't just give you everything that I, you know what I'm saying, like everything that I've built, you know, and a lot of the people that you know what I'm saying, like you associate with think that you might have changed up, but the way you move is powerful because it's like you can still be cool and still be executing. You know what I'm saying? And so that's super powerful. Hold on, I think we lost Chris. Hold on. All right, bro.
Are you done?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man. All right.
So, but it's crazy. Like, I'm glad you move how you move, and I take a lot of pages out of that book now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, a lot of people, they like they have a perception of what's really going on, and really you trying to empower others. But the best
Yeah,
way you
for
can
sure.
do that a lot of times is by walking in your truth and standing up strong, standing up strong.
And that is the truth. That is the truth. Like I don't know if you listen to Starlito, but I listen to a lot of those type of rappers like
Hmm.
Starlito, Kevin Gates, Nipsey Hussle, and
Oh
them people
yeah.
that I'm real big. And like when Nipsey Hussle passed away, bro, it's like man that hurt me. Like it changed me. Like I ain't even gonna lie because like the type of man that he was, like on my social media, I only really follow people that I want qualities of, because I know
Okay.
I know I ain't the best person, and I know it's a lot of things that I can fix. So I try to follow people who got characteristics that I would like to have. He was one of the
Hmm.
people that had a characteristic I like to have. He really had a lot of them. I said, man, if I wanted my dad to be anybody in the world, I would want my pop to be Nipsey Hussle. Like, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because like he just displayed what a real genuine man was. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that I really resonated with him because I feel like that we really was on the same wavelength as far as like really trying to become better, like really coming from different cultures, like you say, bro. You know what I'm saying? We African American, we black, and where we come from. We really come from, you know, gutter places. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get out. But like I really come from them places, gang banging, all type of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I really come
Hmm.
from that. But like to transition and to be like a person who can inspire other people, bro. That's like what Nipsey was doing. You know what I'm saying? And he was really putting people on game, but a lot of people ain't really see it until it was too late. So like I feel like he was a real staple in my life, man. Like the reason why I am how I am today, and the reason why I do what I do because he died too early, and I feel like it's still a lot that he had left. You know what I'm saying, to show the world. So I just feel like it's time for me to tap into my potential and see what I can do for my people. Because like I don't talk to a lot of people, but like a lot of people, I feel like they look at me or whatever the case may be.
Uh-huh. Well, and so
Oh, I cut out. Did I cut out?
oh, you good? Yeah, you back
Oh,
now.
okay.
It's kind of delayed, ain't it? Um,
Yeah, it is.
but so that's real because but another thing you can learn from Nip, and one thing I learned from Nip too is a lot of times you got to stop going back home.
Yeah, for
Like
sure,
home is
man.
where the heart is, but I move totally different when I go down there. Like I
Yeah, most
used to be
definitely.
like, hey, I'm coming to town, you know what I'm saying? Line up the breezies, we gonna have a good time, we gonna kick it.
Yes,
Now I'm just
sir.
like, I'll go see my select few and then I'm out.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way, bro. Because I feel like once you start letting people in that inner circle that don't belong, man, that's when everything starts to go bad, man. You know, because like man,
Facts.
I used to have a lot of people around me, bro. And I feel like I was always the friend to be on everybody coattail to be like, hey man, you ain't moving right, you ain't doing this right. But when I look back, I'm like, man, what was the people that who were telling me when I was moving wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like telling
Mm-hmm.
me, hey Chris, you gotta slow down, you gotta do that. So I feel like I've always been like a big brother to everybody. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like a real genuine person. So I just feel like, you know, if I can go out here and do some things that everybody around me or people that I grew up with, they'll look and be like, man, if that man Chris can go out there and do that, man, I know I can go do that because I ain't nobody special. You know what I'm saying?
Me neither.
I got a heart, I got lungs, you know, I got blood flowing through my body like everybody else do. But the only thing is, you know, I I know what life got to offer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know what life got to offer, man, because there's a lot out here.
At all. And it a lot of times it just takes a slight change in direction. You
Yes,
remember,
sir.
you know what I'm saying, in basic when you did land nav and all that stuff, it's like that slight angle change can totally change your trajectory.
Everything. Yes,
Just
sir.
a couple degrees. 1 degree will have you over there compared to
Facts.
over here.
Facts.
And that's mad powerful. And once I started realizing like my power to change as a person, like that's when I really started to love myself. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? And you know what I'm saying? I wasn't a fly dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I was bummy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't help it. And so, but even today, like, so, you know, the military, you start spending all this money, you start doing those
Yeah.
things, and it leave you empty. And when you and I think you got to this place too where you walking in a lot of self-love. Once you start walking in self-love, you start to see things completely different.
That's a
And
fact,
that's
bro.
powerful. And that's powerful. So before we wrap up here, I want you to, because I've seen you talk on social media about Zoom and
Oh
like
yeah.
the headache. So how, I mean, and you going to school to become a software engineer in the healthcare field. So you really gonna have to adapt. Like that's a hard one. So
It is,
what has
man.
been your struggles with the Zoom class and all that?
So what it is, man, it's really big about me. Like I feel like it's the class and everything is easy. I'm just a big procrastinator, man. I procrastinate so much, man, to like the point to where I procrastinate to the last minute. And
Uh-huh.
like I can get it done, but I tell my girl all the time, I'm like, it ain't hard enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and let it, you know what I'm saying? Let it all, let my homework pile up or something, and then I'll just knock it all
Uh-huh.
out in the next 2 days because I feel like I work good under pressure. Like if I ain't got no pressure up
Facts.
under me, you know, if I don't got no pressure up under me, I ain't gonna really sweat it. But the moment I get some pressure on me, man, I feel like I perform my best. Like I'm one of the best
Mm-hmm.
out here when I got that pressure on me, like real.
That's real. And see that I'm the same way. Like even with FedEx, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even like to ask what the route is. I'm like, switch it up on me. You feel me?
Yes,
So that
sir.
way I can struggle a little bit and power through that. I don't know what it is about me, but I'm like, it's time to step up. You know what I'm
It's time to
saying?
step
But
up.
like when
Yes,
it's
sir.
easy, I'm like, this too easy. Like it's weird. On the harder days, I'll go harder. And on the easier days, I'm like, why am I here? You know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
so so I get that I get where you're coming from with that struggle. Cause I like, and one thing, you should give it a try, but start, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you make lists of the things that you need to do, but that's helped me kind of feed the beast of like adding a little more struggle on me to
Yes,
where
sir.
like I keep the pace. And that's kind of why I started the podcast and started like going hard on that because it gave me something else to focus on during like the layover time while I was just chilling. And sometimes as people, that's what we have to do because you know at our baseline as human beings, we are like we want to conquer something.
Facts.
Like that's why when people retire, they say when people retire, a lot of them just die because they're like, I'm done. And the human condition is not only to survive, it's to thrive. It's to maintain what we have. And so I see where you're going through, and I struggle with that online stuff too, man. I'm telling you, the other day I was so I'm getting ready to deploy again, and like it's one of those things where everything is going online. We on Microsoft Teams doing this, that, and the other,
Yes, sir.
and people in the back, like, and like I'm looking at the PFCs and the specials. I'm like, I can't even blame them.
You can't.
Because you got colonels in majors struggling.
Exactly. Like, because this digital revolution is gonna be one of the hardest, I feel like, to overcome ever. Because
Especially
like
for
you
our
said,
generation.
especially for our generation, man. Literally, because we really in the middle of it. Like the younger kids, they already adapting to it because this is what they already got coming out the womb. We ain't have none of this. You know what I'm saying? So we really new to this too. But like, I feel like our generation, that we got the power to change the world with it, though.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? And
there's
the
more
moment,
of us than
facts.
any other generation. Like even the
Exactly.
generation after us, like our parents didn't have enough kids. Or like, wait, they had so many, and then their parents, it was weird. So our generation is technically going to be like the largest amount of people, because our generation, we're also not having very many children.
That's a fact, yeah.
And so there's more of us, which means more buying power, which means millennials we're here. And if we can embrace this technology, this is going to take us next level, bro. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Just yesterday, I had a podcast with somebody who's she's in cybersecurity.
Yeah, cybersecurity. Yeah, that's dope.
And she was, but it's powerful. You know, she started even later than you did with this technology thing, but it's blessing her because I watched her struggle. You know what I'm saying? So if you get through this and you master this, it's gonna be powerful for you. You might have to have, you know what I'm saying, have a phone on the side to get you through the class because it's boring. But you know, that's gonna be super powerful for you. And so I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with the podcast. Is there do you have any questions for me before we wrap this up?
No, bro, I don't really got too many questions, man. I really appreciate you for getting me on here, man. Like I hate last week we couldn't do it, but hey, man, we still got it done, man. Yeah,
you
I
know
appreciate
what?
it.
And grace is important. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of respect for you as a man because of some of the conversations we've had in coordinating it. But my thought process with all of it is adding value. And your story can change somebody else's story.
Yes, sir.
And as millennials, when we start doing, we some of the most powerful human beings on the earth. Because together we super powerful. So I appreciate you coming on the podcast, my brother. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Chris for coming out and coming on the podcast. We appreciate you, bro.
You all too, man. It's
Ladies and
always
gentlemen,
love, bro.
yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Williams.